You've probably heard that you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But what they don't tell you is that most people are unknowingly surrounding themselves with dream killers. While you're working hard, saving money, and trying to build something meaningful, there might be people in your inner circle who are secretly sabotaging your progress without you even realizing it. Napoleon Hill discovered this painful truth when he studied the mindset patterns of the wealthy. The difference between those who made it and those who didn't wasn't talent, luck, or even hard work. It was the quality of their relationships and their understanding of what he called mastermind alliances. The problem might be sitting right next to you at dinner, texting you discouraging messages, or showing up to every conversation with reasons why your dreams won't work. But here's the incredible news that will change everything. Once you understand the specific types of friends that create prosperity and learn how to attract them into your life, you'll discover a hidden force that makes success almost inevitable. Today, you're going to discover the exact blueprint that transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers, and learn how to build your own circle of prosperity, even if you're starting from scratch. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which relationships to nurture, which ones to release, and most importantly, how to become the kind of person that successful people want to be around. There's something the wealthy don't want you to know about how they really built their fortunes. While most people believe success comes from individual effort, every truly prosperous person has discovered what Napoleon Hill called the mastermind principle, the hidden power of strategic alliances that multiplies mental energy and creates opportunities that solo effort never could. These aren't just casual friendships or networking contacts. These are carefully cultivated relationships with people who think bigger, act bolder, and refuse to accept mediocrity as normal. When you look at any major success story, you'll find a network of key relationships that made the difference. Steve Jobs had Steve Wozniak, Oprah had Maya Angelou, Warren Buffett had Charlie Munger. These weren't just business partnerships, they were mental partnerships that created a collective intelligence far greater than what any individual could achieve. Your current financial situation is a direct reflection of the mental frequency you're operating on, and that frequency is heavily influenced by the people you spend time with. The wealthy understand that prosperity consciousness is contagious, but so is poverty consciousness. They deliberately seek out relationships with people who challenge their thinking, expand their vision, and hold them accountable to higher standards. If your friends talk about bills, complain about their jobs, and believe that money doesn't grow on trees, your subconscious mind absorbs those limiting beliefs as truth. But when you're surrounded by people who see possibilities instead of problems, your own mind begins to operate at that same elevated frequency. Think about the most successful person you know personally. Notice how they talk about challenges. They see them as puzzles to solve, not insurmountable obstacles. Notice how they discuss money, as a tool for creation, not a source of stress. This mindset isn't something they were born with. It's something they developed by consistently exposing themselves to other people who think the same way. Your environment shapes your expectations, and your expectations shape your reality. The divine principle at work here is that we're designed to grow through connection and collaboration. Just as iron sharpens iron, the right relationships sharpen your mind and expand your capacity for achievement. But here's where most people make a critical mistake. They wait for successful people to find them, instead of actively seeking out these transformative relationships. That passive approach keeps them stuck in the same patterns with the same people, getting the same results year after year. But what if there was a way to identify exactly who's helping you rise and who's holding you back? Right now, take a moment to think about the 5 people you spend the most time with, not including family obligations, but the people you choose to be around. What do they talk about when you're together? Do they discuss dreams and possibilities, or do they focus on problems and limitations? Do they celebrate your wins, or do they subtly discourage your ambitions with phrases like, "Be realistic," or "Don't get your hopes up"? This simple assessment will reveal more about your financial future than any business plan or investment strategy ever could. Napoleon Hill discovered that successful people are extremely selective about their inner circle because they understand that mental influence is more powerful than physical influence. You can resist someone trying to physically push you in a direction you don't want to go, but mental influence seeps into your subconscious mind without your conscious awareness. When you're constantly exposed to limiting beliefs, pessimistic attitudes, and small thinking, your own mental programming gradually shifts to match that frequency. It's not personal, it's psychological law. Here's a practical exercise that will open your eyes. For the next week, pay attention to how you feel after spending time with each person in your life. Do you feel energized, inspired, and ready to take on bigger challenges? Or do you feel drained, discouraged, and smaller than when the conversation started? Your emotional state after interactions is your internal guidance system telling you whether that relationship is lifting you up or pulling you down. Trust those feelings. They're more accurate than any logical analysis. The most dangerous relationships aren't the obviously toxic ones that you can easily identify and avoid. They're the subtly draining ones that masquerade as caring and concern. These are the people who love you but don't believe in your potential. They want you to be happy, but they define happiness as settling for less than what you truly desire. They offer advice that sounds practical but is actually rooted in their own fears and limitations. These relationships are particularly challenging because the people mean well, but their well-meaning advice can keep you trapped in mediocrity. The wealthy understand that loyalty to people who don't support your growth is actually disloyalty to your own potential. This doesn't mean you have to cut people out of your life completely, but it does mean you need to be strategic about how much influence you allow them to have over your thinking. You can love someone and still limit their access to your dreams. You can care about someone and still refuse to let their limitations become your limitations. This boundary setting isn't selfish. It's essential for anyone serious about creating a different kind of life. And once you understand this principle, you'll begin to see why certain minds working together create something almost magical. When Napoleon Hill wrote about the Mastermind principle, he used a powerful analogy that most people miss. Just as hydrogen and oxygen combine to create water, something entirely different from either element alone, two or more minds working in harmony create a third mind that possesses capabilities neither individual mind could access independently. This isn't just poetic language. It's describing a real phenomenon that successful people have learned to harness intentionally. When you've experienced that moment during a conversation where suddenly the perfect solution becomes crystal clear, you've witnessed this principle in action. Think about the last time you had a breakthrough idea while talking with someone who really understood your vision. That wasn't just coincidence, it was mental chemistry at work. When minds are truly aligned in purpose and harmony, they create a collective intelligence that can solve problems, generate ideas, and see opportunities that individual thinking would never discover. This is why the most successful entrepreneurs, artists, and leaders throughout history have always surrounded themselves with other brilliant minds who complement their strengths and challenge their assumptions. The key word here is harmony. This isn't just about gathering smart people in a room. It's about creating genuine alignment of purpose and mutual support. When there's competition, ego, or hidden agendas in the mix, the mastermind effect is blocked. But when everyone is genuinely committed to each other's success and shares a common vision of what's possible, something magical happens. Ideas flow more freely, solutions appear more quickly, and opportunities seem to multiply almost effortlessly. It's like tuning into a higher frequency of possibility. Here's what most people don't understand. Your current income and lifestyle are the result of the collective mental energy you've been exposed to throughout your life. If you've been surrounded by people who think small, your own thinking has been unconsciously calibrated to match that frequency. But when you begin to regularly interact with people who think bigger, your mental capacity automatically expands to accommodate new possibilities. It's not about becoming someone different. It's about becoming more of who you really are when limitations are removed. The divine aspect of this principle is that we're created to be interdependent, not independent. The idea that we should be able to achieve everything on our own is actually contrary to how the universe operates. Every great achievement in human history has been the result of minds working together in harmony toward a common goal. When you align yourself with this natural law and begin to consciously create mastermind relationships, you're not just improving your business prospects, you're stepping into the way life was designed to work. But knowing this principle is only the beginning. You need to understand exactly what types of people to look for. The most successful people in the world don't leave their relationships to chance. They strategically cultivate 4 specific types of friends that create a complete ecosystem of growth and support. The first type is the mentor, someone who has already achieved what you're working toward and is willing to share their wisdom and experience. This person has walked the path you're on, made the mistakes you're about to make, and learned the lessons that can save you years of struggle. They see potential in you that you might not even see in yourself yet. The second type is the partner, someone who is on a similar journey as you, facing comparable challenges and working toward similar goals. This is your accountability buddy, your sounding board, and your fellow traveler on the road to success. You celebrate each other's wins, support each other through setbacks, and share resources and opportunities. There's something powerful about having someone who truly understands what you're going through because they're experiencing it too. The third type is the apprentice, someone you're helping to develop and grow. This might seem counterintuitive, but teaching others actually accelerates your own learning and keeps you sharp. When you explain concepts to someone else, you deepen your own understanding. Plus, the fresh perspective and enthusiasm of someone just starting out can reignite your own passion and remind you of possibilities you might have forgotten. The fourth type is the challenger, someone who questions your assumptions, pushes you out of your comfort zone, and refuses to let you settle for less than your best. This person might not always be easy to be around, but they force you to think bigger, work harder, and reach higher. They see through your excuses and call you out when you're not living up to your potential. Every successful person needs someone who won't let them get comfortable with mediocrity. Here's the beautiful thing about this framework. You don't need to find all 4 types immediately. Start with one. Maybe you begin by becoming an apprentice to someone you admire, or by finding one partner who shares your vision. As you develop these relationships authentically, the others will naturally follow. The universe has a way of bringing the right people into your life when you're clear about what you need and committed to mutual growth. But having the right people is only half the equation. You also need to know how to activate these relationships consistently. Here's what separates people who have successful relationships from those who just collect business cards. They have systems and rituals that keep their connections alive and productive. Every truly prosperous person has some version of what could be called the weekly winner's ritual. Dedicated time each week to nurture their most important relationships and leverage the collective wisdom of their circle. This isn't networking. This is relationship cultivation with intention and purpose. The most powerful version of this is the weekly mastermind meeting. This could be as simple as a 1-hour video call with 2 or 3 like-minded people, where you each share your biggest challenge, your biggest win, and your next most important action. The magic happens when everyone is committed to helping solve each other's problems and celebrating each other's successes. You'll be amazed at how quickly solutions emerge when multiple minds focus on a single challenge with genuine care and creativity. But even if you can't organize a formal group yet, you can start with individual check-ins. Schedule a weekly call with your mentor figure to get guidance on your current challenges. Have a monthly coffee with your partner-level friends to share progress and brainstorm opportunities. Send a weekly text to your apprentice to see how they're implementing what you've taught them. These small, consistent touches create compound interest in your relationships that pays dividends for years. Think about it this way. Most people only reach out to their network when they need something, which makes every interaction feel transactional. But when you establish regular touchpoints focused on mutual support and growth, you're building genuine relationships that naturally lead to opportunities. It's the difference between being someone who takes from the network and someone who contributes to it. The contributors always receive more than they give because they've positioned themselves as valuable assets in other people's lives. The divine principle at work here is that consistent, genuine care for others creates a flow of abundance that returns to you multiplied. When you make it a priority to add value to other people's lives regularly, you become someone that others want to help and support. But here's what you should do right now. In the comments below, write these exact words. I choose relationships that elevate my thinking and expand my possibilities. This isn't just a comment, it's a declaration to the universe about the kind of energy you want to attract into your life. Go ahead and type that now, because your future self will thank you for this moment of clarity and commitment. Now that you understand the types of relationships you need and how to maintain them, let's talk about where to find these game-changing connections and how to approach them in a way that creates genuine mutual value. The biggest mistake most people make is thinking they need to wait until they're successful to connect with successful people. The truth is, successful people are often more accessible than you think, and they're usually happy to help someone who demonstrates genuine commitment to growth and contribution. Start by identifying the communities where your ideal connections already gather. If you want to connect with entrepreneurs, attend local business meetups, join online mastermind groups, or participate in industry conferences. If you're looking for mentors in your field, engage thoughtfully with their content on social media, attend their workshops, or volunteer for causes they support. The key is to show up consistently and add value before you ask for anything in return. When you do reach out to someone you'd like to connect with, lead with contribution, not need. Instead of saying, I'd love to pick your brain, try, I noticed you mentioned struggling with X in your recent post. Here's a resource that might help with that challenge. Instead of asking for a favor, offer one. Instead of requesting their time, invest yours in understanding their goals and challenges first. This approach immediately sets you apart from the countless people who approach successful individuals with their hand out. Here's a powerful strategy that works remarkably well. Become known for connecting other people. When you introduce two people who can help each other, you become valuable to both of them. Start paying attention to the needs and resources within your existing network and look for opportunities to make introductions. Send an email saying, John mentioned his marketing challenges and your expertise in that area immediately came to mind. Would you be open to a brief conversation with him? This positions you as a connector and resource, not just someone looking for help. Remember, building an empire of relationships isn't about using people. It's about creating a network of mutual support where everyone rises together. The most successful people understand that their wealth is directly connected to the wealth of the people around them. When you help others succeed, you create allies who are invested in your success too. This is how you transform from someone who knows successful people into someone who is an integral part of their success ecosystem. The path to prosperity has never been a solo journey, and it never will be. Every dream you've ever had, every goal you've set, every vision of a better life, they're all waiting on the other side of the right relationships. The people you surround yourself with today are either building bridges to your future or creating barriers that keep you stuck. Napoleon Hill understood this truth over a century ago, and it's even more relevant now in our interconnected world. Your network truly is your net worth. But more than that, your relationships are the foundation of your legacy. The time for hoping and waiting is over. If you're ready to discover more secrets about the psychology of success and the hidden patterns that separate those who thrive from those who merely survive, click on the video appearing on your screen right now. You're going to explore the mysterious workings of the human mind and reveal why some people seem to effortlessly attract opportunities, while others struggle despite their best efforts. Your transformation begins with understanding these deeper truths about how your brain creates your reality. Don't let this moment pass. Your future self is counting on the decision you make right now.